Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for taking time to watch this. Thanks for your interest in these steps. I am really excited to unpack this for you. If you don't know who I am, my name is Chris Cirillo, and I am a fitness and habit transformation coach for busy Christian business leaders who are fathers. Really focused on this particular group of people who, hopefully, that's you who's watching this. You're a father, you're a business leader, you have a very complex life, and you're trying to juggle what does it look like to be a faith leader in my family, to have healthy habits around exercise and nutrition, and to excel in my business and to impact the community for the kingdom. There's so many things that are on your plate, and you're trying to figure it all out. So, if you don't know me, I spent the last 10 years in SaaS, so three different venture backed software startups, and helping those grow and figuring that out with five boys of my own. I have a chaotic household, but it's so much fun. It's such a blessing. And so I had to figure out how to do this. I had to figure out, okay, with my fitness background, I was an Army Ranger, I was a college athlete, I was a personal trainer and nutrition coach, but then I turned into kind of the SaaS space. So, with my expertise and my coaching and my experience and my knowledge, how did I apply that into a particular environment that helped me excel and exceed expectations when I was a busy business leader? So I'm going to unpack that for you today. There's three primary categories and things that we want to be focused on when we're thinking about how to solve this particular problem. And I'm going to unpack all of them. So let me pull up my little drawing pad here, and I can go ahead and get this rocking and rolling. One second. There we go. All right. We are rocking and rolling. Okay, so when we look at what we want most, and we really think about what this like kind of centerpiece is to this whole equation, this is what I would just say is transformed habits, because that really encompasses everything that we really want. We want better health, more energy. We want to lose weight. We want to be stronger. We want to lead well at home. We want to have a deeper relationship with the Lord. We want to have an organized and optimized household and all of the operations that go into that. We want to be great parents. All of that is going to stem from our habits. And there's really three key things that we need to look at when it comes to how do we develop lasting habits. Because if you're like most people that I work with, you've had some success in getting habits up and running, and then they fall off rather quickly. They fall off maybe 3 months in, or 6 months in, or maybe you have a great year. It was a little inconsistent throughout it, but you had a great year overall, and then you had 2 bad years that followed that. So we need to transform habits in a way that is lasting, and can really serve us. Now, the problem with this, as I kind of get into this, is most people are confused with what to do. And I don't say this in a way to insult your intelligence. There's just so many different things that we could do. There's a million ideas. There's a million ideologies. There's so much dogmatic approach to health and fitness, and especially habit development and all that stuff. So how do we cut through that? We've got to deal with being confused. We also, down here at the bottom, we are inconsistent. And we have behaviors that we put in place, like we just talked about a moment ago, that they just don't stick around. It's just not working long term. And ultimately, the every step forward we make, life throws us curveballs, and we're going to constantly have these curveballs thrown at us. And so, if we don't figure out how to deal with these as they come and how life gives us what it gives us, then we're probably not going to make any lasting change. And then the last side here is actually that people feel alone. Now, I wouldn't write loneliness on here, because most men are gonna like, I'm gonna repel from this concept of loneliness. I'm fine. I have everything I need. But the reality is if you survey men, and people have, most men don't have any close friends. And they definitely, when they do have close friends, in most cases, don't have friends that are aligned in moving in the direction that they want to go, that are pursuing the same goals that they have. And especially as business owners and CEOs and executives, as a VP in a software company, I was a very, very lonely guy. Leadership can be an incredibly lonely place. And so these are the three challenges that we are faced with when it comes to transforming our habits. We lack consistency. We're confused by what we should be doing, like what's the most important thing to spend our time on, and how do we align with other people and do this inside of a place of reinforcement and accountability. So that then brings us to our solutions. These are the three things that we want to um, put in place. So we want knowledge. Now, that might seem simple, but we want the right knowledge. We're confused because there's a million different things that we could do. And there is so many different ways that people have tried to um, give us their prescription for what to do. And what I want to do, and what I think most people should do, is you should synthesize down all of the knowledge that exists down to the 20% that produces the 80% of the results that you want. How do we get to that core set of principles, ideas, and a knowledge base that is most effective, that has the highest impact compared to input? So, how much time do we spend getting the knowledge, and what kind of impact does it have on us? So, that's the first piece of the puzzle. We've got to transform the way that we approach getting knowledge. The second thing is we need to transform the way that we think about habits. And there is so many things that go into this, and these fuel each other. And I'm going to break this out here in just a moment and kind of help you unpack how do you approach habits differently? What is it that I need to have in place? And that's what these outer kind of edges here are going to be for as we chat through that here. Um, and then the last piece is, you can probably see where I'm going with this. If you are currently alone and you don't have great friendships and you don't have people that are moving in the same direction as you, I mean, you are going to be the average of the five closest people around you. If you don't have that, then what do we need? We need a different kind of community. And so this becomes our prescription in a way, and provides us at least an initial thought exercise for how do we determine the best pathway towards transformed habits. So now we're going to fill in this outer gap. And these are the 9 things that I think are most critical to kind of assess or to put in place or to exercise as you are approaching this. Let's start back with knowledge, because that's where we kind of were to begin with. And the first thing that we want to look at here is an intake system. And an intake system is going to be, what is the pathway that we have set up that feeds us this correct knowledge, this 20% of knowledge that gives us the most bang for the buck? We need to have a process for bringing that in. And how do we set that up? Is that a series of YouTube videos that we watch on a particular basis? Is that an online course somewhere? Is that a coaching experience? Is that a particular set of books that we're reading? Is this, I mean, there's so many ways that you can develop an intake system, but we have to have an intake system. And within that intake system, we also then need to have feedback loops. So if we take in particular information and we put it into practice, do we have any kind of mechanism that tells us if that was valuable or if it was not valuable information, if it didn't meet the standard for the input to impact ratio, low input, high impact? And then the last thing that we need to look at with knowledge is, how do we move things from knowledge to beliefs? Because these are different. These are not the same. Knowledge is intellectual. Belief is a conviction that makes its way to your heart and is lived out in your actions. To say you believe something and not to have action as evidence of it is not actual belief. It's just intellectual knowledge. Belief, by definition, for centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries, has been intrinsically tied to action. So if I say I believe, I will, by definition, have acted in accordance with that belief. But most people don't understand, first and foremost, what they believe. But secondly, they don't understand how to turn this knowledge into beliefs so that their actions change. And that's really what we want to be focused on as we are thinking about this particular section of the knowledge paradigm. So, the next thing that we want to look at is inside of our habits. Now, in here, people need a daily micro habit routine. Now, this is something that sets the stage for your day and addresses your health and your lifestyle in different categories. So I recommend with my clients, their daily micro habit routine incorporates some small things, very small. The total of your entire morning routine is like 15 minutes or less. But I recommend some scripture time, some journaling time, some bottleneck analysis time for like your business priorities for the day. So you can have revenue health, but also emotional health and also relational health because you can disconnect from work and go be with your wife. There's all these things that you want to bake into your micro habit routine. And this has got to be something that you can do every single day of the year, no matter what, whether it's raining, whether it's dry, whether you're sick or whether you're healthy, whether you're traveling, you're at home, you have family visiting, or you've got a normal day. Like it doesn't matter. This needs to be something that you can execute on. The second piece to your habits is you need to understand your why. You've got to have a mission behind this. You have to understand, why on earth am I putting these things into place? Do I just want to be healthy? That's a great why, but usually it's not very strong for people. There's much stronger whys that are driving and leading us that we've got to understand what's going on there and how to replace that with better things. And then also from a habit standpoint, people try to take on too much change. And so I recommend a bi-monthly macro habit implementation. So you're only changing one big habit every 60 days, every 2 months, because that gives you time to actually solidify this habit and not have it be something that's white knuckled. And you got to figure out the loops and the cues and all of the processes for this, but do it bi-monthly. And these are the big sweeping changes. These are the macro habits. So changing how you eat, changing how you exercise, changing the way you pray with your wife, totally changing the way that you do homeschooling with your kids. I don't know, whatever it is. These are the big sweeping changes that are kind of more abrupt in the way that they are approached. Okay, and then on to community. So the first thing that you need to look for, you need to be really, really intentional, is you need to find aligned friendships. And these are not aligned with you currently. These are people who are aligned with where you want to go. These are people who are aligned with the place that you want to find yourself after you have transformed your habits. Because you need people that are going to be pulling you along and pushing you along in the direction that you want to go, not that are currently aligned with you but are having the same struggles as you to move forward. You guys have to be taking steps together. Think of walking down the road and being shoulder to shoulder with somebody who's walking the same path as you, moving in the same direction. And sometimes they're going to be ahead of you a little bit. Maybe sometimes they're behind you, but you're on the same path, moving in the same direction. That's really key. The second piece here is coaching. So I think of coaching as direction. So, are there people in your life that can identify where you're at, the challenges that you're facing, and to fit a model and a direction and a process to what you're experiencing to help you get to the next stage. That's coaching. And so this could be someone like myself as a coach. This could be a pastor. This could be someone who's a close friend that's actually really gifted at seeing what's going on and being able to help you identify the opportunity for improvement, what's going on, and apply a prescription, apply a model to what's happening. And then the last thing that you need here is accountability. And there's a lot of ways to get accountability. Let me get that back to the center for you guys so you can see it all. There's a lot of ways to get accountability. And most of the time it does come from those aligned friendships and coaching, or maybe a spouse that has agreed with you and what that looks like to be able to hold one another accountable. But this is the pathway to change. We need to move this direction. We need to recognize transformed habits are going to come from breaking through these red challenges by adding these green solutions, and then understanding the accelerators, which are these 9 things on the outside that support the green solutions. So we need community, right? But that comes in many forms, and it's got different components that can come with it. So there's 3 distinct components that we need that are going to accelerate the kind of community that is going to overcome the loneliness that is prohibiting you from having transformed habits. The 6-pack that you want, or the muscles that you want, or the bench press that you want, or even the family life, or the faith walk with the Lord, or the household kind of environment being peaceful. All of, again, the transformed habits are going to come from solving against those red challenges with these green solutions amplified by these blue accelerators. So that is the focal point. And I want you guys to think about, okay, where are the areas that I have the most gaps? What are the places in these 9 blue accelerators that I have the most gaps? And think about the plan that you want to put in place to start accelerating on those accelerators. See what I did there? Now, one thing to call out, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that this is exactly what we do in our coaching program. Why do we do this in our coaching program? Because I know that this is the solution to lasting transformation, to healthy habits, to getting fit, to having an incredible marriage, to leading spiritually in the home. I know that this is the solution. I've worked with hundreds of men, and so we built an entire program that delivers all 9 of these in the way that they need to be delivered, so that you can have an easy pathway to transformation. So I do this over a 6-month period with guys. If that's something that is interesting to you, then go ahead and leave a comment or DM me transformation, and we'll just kind of chat through what that looks like, and we can see if it's a good fit for you. But think about these 9 accelerators and where are my gaps and what are the most important things. You can even grade these. You can color code them. You can go in here and basically say, hey, I need accountability is green, and I'm not really putting any micro habits or macro habits in place, and I definitely don't have any coaching. And my intake system is green, but my beliefs are red. I'm not acting any of the information out that I get. You can go around and you can do an assessment like this for yourself, and just, where am I at? So I'll read these 9 one more time for you. So you've got intake system, beliefs, and feedback loops under the heading of knowledge. You've got aligned friendships, coaching, and accountability under community. And you've got daily micro habit routine, your why, and your bi-monthly macro habits under the habit heading. And for those of you who are interested in a coaching program, we apply all the standard stuff that you would expect with fitness and health coaching. So you have a workout program, nutrition plans, you've got all of the daily accountability, all the things that you would need but we are going to help you apply this framework and get all of these things into the green so that you can really have lasting transformational change. So I hope this was helpful. Um, Go ahead and comment what you liked, what you gathered from this. Comment transformation if you want to talk more about this. And I look forward to seeing all of your guys' results. Thanks.